I had a question that came up on the YESWELDER Cut 65 on how to replace the consumables on the torch. And one thing that you want to pay close attention to when ordering the consumables is each machine is going to have a certain torch. So this is the Cut 55 and 65 torch, which is an IPT40, which is the upgraded version. So once you pull your cap off of it, this is where you can see that you can actually replace the end of it. I call it your training wheels. That's a guide to keep it from touching the material. So one, you unscrew that, and then you've got a thingy here that you pull off of it, and you can see the center of that tip, and based off of the center of it, it's going to tell you if it needs to be replaced or not, on if it starts, spreading or opening up. So at that point, you've got your tip that you can look at the exact same scenario just to make sure it's not melted. So it's still in a good serviceable condition. So you would unscrew the tip off of it, and then you'll have what I would say is a diffuser here. So you'd pull the diffuser off, and that's going to be part of your consumable kit here. So you can find the different consumables down below, but these things are super easy to service. And when it comes down to it, all you need is compressed air from your compressor, and that can be, from a pancake compressor if you're cutting very thin material. But if you're cutting thicker, like quarter, half, and larger, you probably want to step up your game on the compressor. And outside of that, the only thing that you would need to run this machine is going to be a 110 or a 220. This is a dual voltage, and it comes with its adapter. And outside of that, running your ground and having your good contact. Now, here's an example of what we use with Cut 65 DS to cut. And this right here is 1 mark past 3/4 of an inch. So that's pretty thick. And here's a couple of cuts. So the very first pass attempting, it was actually cutting through it, except for the very end of it. And this right here, I had it dialed down. So we stepped the voltage up on this up to the 65 amp, increased our air pressure, and we went for another cut. So at this point, you can see that we actually sliced all the way through it. And this was my first time cutting something of this large. So again, how often would you use, something of this thickness around the garage? But the Cut 65 is fully capable of doing so, up to 63/64 of an inch of the max cut. But it's got a clean cut of 5/8 of an inch. But again, we're at 1 mark past 3/4 of an inch. And so my speed needed to be changed, as well as, the angle and consistency with that. But then we went back and made another pass on it, on a longer pass, and that's a pretty clean cut with a straight edge. Now you see some dross on the base of it. So that'll be determining on what size thickness you're cutting, your speed and your amperage and so forth. But it did cut it, and that's what Papa said. If it didn't fall off, it didn't cut it. So we took a little pecker and pecked it right off. But hey, for that to cut that thick around, hey, that's one sweet plasma cutter. So hopefully that was helpful as far as replacing the consumables as well as the capability of this machine. But you can get as low as the Cut 45 or the 55. And a high frequency 55 and a non-high frequency. So the non-high frequencies are set up for plasma tables. So if you want to find more, YESWELDER's got a banging sale going on right now for Black Friday, and this is one you don't want to miss out on. But 13/16 of an inch of a cut right there, massive, with the YESWELDER Cut 65.